Ready? Okay. We'll have a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning. It's October 25th, 2023. It's 10 o'clock, and all three county commissioners are here, so we'll move immediately to consents and approvals.
Morning.
Good morning.
10 exonerations for 2001-8256, one request to create a new statement, 9654. Minutes for October 18th, 2023, vouchers, General County Fund, $51,256.78, 911, $14,460.99, Chestnut Ridge Park, $6,426.35, Camp Muffley, $6,728.98, Mason-Dixon Park, $6,234.92, Recreation levy, $2,187.93. Assessor's valuation, $100. Payroll, $1,013,671.77. Purchasing card vouchers, General County, $15,855.45. 911, $220.22. Home confinement, $5,814.57. For a voucher total of $1,122,957.96. We have no budget revisions. Position vacancies for board and authorities are listed on our website, and fiduciary orders for October 25th, 2023.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Fantastic. Introduction of new employees. Rakeshia Crooks?
Yes.
Sorry, my name. Personal property deputy, yeah. Is that
Morning.
correct?
How's everybody doing this morning?
Good.
Good morning.
Carry you.
So I'm here this morning to ask permission for the hiring of Rakeshia Crooks. She goes by Keisha,
Keisha,
as well.
okay.
She'll be a personal property deputy replacing Sierra Gidley, who'd left us. She'll be full-time with benefits after a 90-day introductory period.
Okay.
Move to approve personnel as presented.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other new employees? Seeing none. At this time, we will open up comments from the public. Please state your name, address, and you have 3 to 4 minutes to address the commission. We are not allowed to respond unless we suspend the rules. Go ahead.
May I hand this?
Sure, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Knuckles.
Morning.
Hello.
And thank you for your email that we were getting.
Thank you.
A younger version of me.
My name is Dwayne Nichols. I'm here today as on the board of directors of the Monongalia Historical Society. And I want to present you with a photograph taken in 1927 at the dedication of the Cheat Lake Dam, otherwise named for Albert Lynn. And you can see there a drape is over the dedication plaque.
Mhm.
And that plaque says as follows: Lake Lynn, named in commemoration of Albert Maxfield Lynn, who died in that same year, 1927, whose vision, industry, and increasing effort while president of the companies comprising the West Penn system made possible the creation of this lake and power station dedicated to the public in lasting beauty for recreation and the supplying for an essential service. So there's incredible meaning in that for me, and I think for the general public. What's also significant is, see, I was born in 1937, and this was 10 years before that. If you think about the fact that this dam was under construction for 5 or 6 years, it immediately becomes evident that this is effectively 100 years old. And for that reason, there's probably two things that we ought to be concerned about. One is the integrity of the dam needs to be assured year after year. More than that, there's an opportunity in 1927 plus 100, 2027, for us to start preparing for some kind of a celebration. So, with regards to those two topics, I'm hopeful that I can meet with the Mon County Planning Commission and discuss some of the significance of those two topics. I think it's worthwhile to start that because, as we know, time passes by. Thanks for this chance to see everybody again today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the picture, very unique. Is there someone else who would like to speak? Sure, feel free.
Hi, I'm Ann Chester, and I'm here on behalf of the community in Clear, Cheat Lake Environment and Recreation Association, to talk about the relicensing process and to thank you for your help in this process and making sure that we maintain the Cheat Lake beauty as we now know it and improve on it. You know, over the last 30 years, I have seen a lot. I was the president of Clear during the last relicensure. And here I am again, 30 years later, and we're talking about the same thing. And the county commission was very involved back then as well. And it's because of the county commission and this community that we have recreation on there at all. We forced it last time. We forced it by having letters from you to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission and from us and Clear and the whole community. And so here we are again, and I want to thank you for trying to make a difference and maintaining this environment here in a pristine, wild, and wonderful condition. So over the past 30 years, I've witnessed one owner after another, and each one of those owners has become less caring. And to the point where right now we have an owner who is not behaving in a way that is responsible stewardship. Bathrooms are not working, docks are not in place, the washout created by a storm was left unfixed for over a year, and on and on and on. This is an asset to this community. It's our bottom line in our budget for this county, because people come from Pittsburgh to go boating, people come from DC to go hiking, people come from Pittsburgh and DC to buy homes in our community. I've watched it happen. Half of our people are now vacation owners in our community. This is an asset for our taxes. And what is happening is that in this relicensure, they're trying to get 300 acres out of the project area. 300 pristine, wild, wonderful acres. And if they do, that means they no longer have to keep it at all. They could sell it. And that would change the whole aspect of the lake, which we now are very proud of because it's wild and wonderful and it provides a recreation area and it protects from erosion. All those acreage protects from erosion. And so I wanted to say we need to, again, be cognizant of holding the current county owner accountable, as well as making sure that FERC sets the regulations in a manner that we can hold them to. So I wanted to thank you again for your help last time, your help in this process, and ask for help into the future. Any questions?
We're not permitted to at this time.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, that's all right. But thank you for your
Thank you
comments,
for
but we will have, the meeting shouldn't be long, so we might be able to have comments there. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
My name is Derek Jackson. I reside at 792 Alpine Street here in Morgantown. And I came, and I know you guys can't speak, but if you decide to suspend the rules, I will happily listen to any comments that you might have. But I was here in June, spoke about the concerns that we have with our road. I've submitted the grant application twice. I've got another one that I'm going to submit, as well as updated quotes on the project. The road continues to deteriorate to the point where there are sections of it that are, as I've mentioned before, unpassable by certain vehicles. I watch vehicles get damaged. One of mine personally has been because of the state of the road. When I was here in June, one of the things that was mentioned by the commissioners was, yes, we recognize there's something, Mr. Kaur, I believe even what you'd said was, it's now on us to try to start to figure something out. And I'm wanting to make sure, I understand that the wheels of government don't always move as fast as we like, but I want to make sure that we're staying on your radar to see to it that something's going to be done about this. It's a major problem. I was able to connect with another gentleman here who may choose to speak, who is now the owner of the apartment complex that I mentioned was in the process of being sold, and I didn't know who the owner was. I've still got commitments from the neighbors as far as being able to commit funds. That'll be included in the proposal that I'm going to resubmit, the application that I'm going to resubmit, as well as the updated quotes, which the cost continues to rise. So the longer we wait, the more expensive this project becomes, the worse the road continues to get. I think it's something, especially with the orphan road grant program that's available, that is something that really needs to be a priority. It impacts the entire neighborhood. It impacts property values. It has an overall significant impact that, honestly, in winter months, the roads are impossible to be treated. It can't be done. It puts people's health and safety at risk too. I watched vehicles go down that road that weren't aware of the state. I watched 2 wrecks last winter because they weren't aware of the state. And I saw 3 other near misses and that was only because there happened to not be another vehicle when their car finally came to a stop. They put the brakes on and then just hoped and prayed. It'll only be worse this winter because the road's worse this winter. There's more holes, there's more damage. Every heavy rain we get, it continues to disintegrate further, and it could legitimately get to a point where people can't even get their vehicles in and out of their own driveways. So, I'm coming to the commission again asking that you support the project and action be taken so we can get the road repaired, replaced, so that way it'll be passable for the residents and the others in the neighborhood that use the road.
Is there an interest to suspend the rules?
Are the other 2 individuals talking about the same?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear them first.
Okay, if you wanted to speak, or either of you going to speak?
My name is Stuart Gobbin. I'm an emergency medicine physician at WV Medicine. I'm an associate chief medical officer for our medical center. But I own property on Alpine as well, and probably the worst spot of it's directly in front of the driveway of one half of my property. And as it washes out, I've tried to patch the hole myself. I've had the road plowed and treated in the wintertime myself, trying to help my tenants get in and out. But not only is it with time allowing my driveway to undermine and wash out, which will, eventually be an extremely expensive fix for me, but I think it poses a significant health risk to people. With my experience with pre-hospital medicine and things like that, it would not be something an ambulance could get up and down in the wintertime if there's any amount of snow. And we're not talking about like a big, blizzard that sticks around for weeks and weeks. Even just a couple of, inch of snow on that road that doesn't get traveled much and doesn't ever really get treated. An ambulance isn't going to be able to get in and out. And so you'd have paramedics trying to lug a stretcher up and down a hill by foot and trying to transport a patient back down on foot and things like that. And as Derek said, it just kind of continues to get worse. We're willing to put in what we can with this grant application to try to fix the problem ourselves as much as we can, but it's just kind of something we hope to move forward with quickly. So,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Charles France, recent owner of the Alpine Apartments. Kind of what we're doing on our end is we're putting a lot of capital into increasing the value of Alpine Apartments, which is the exterior and other things like that to help out with North Hills community property values. And I just wanted to say that, we're putting money in to make an improvement. We're just hoping that the county commission would also help out with things like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would move to suspend the rules.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Derek, you want to come on?
Yeah. We can now have the conversation.
Okay.
Yes, you did, and I don't remember when you came to talk to us, but
It was in June.
where we left it is,
Yeah.
we said we had been talking with you over a couple of years.
Yeah.
It is a very challenging project because most of the other projects that we dealt with the orphan grant program had a lot higher
House count.
Yeah, house count,
Yeah.
and made it a little bit easier for us to jump in. But that's why we have this orphan road grant program, is to help these outliers that don't have any other options. So we certainly want to work with you. I believe at that time, the commission talked about it in work session, and we delegated Commissioner Arnett to work with you as far as maybe some phasing or whatever. And Jeff, I'll
Okay.
let you.
Yeah, and I talked to, one contractor that doesn't do the kind of work anymore, so that didn't help us. And I've reached out to another, and we had some conversations about it.
Yeah.
The reason that we mention phasing is it's a big chunk out of 1 year's budget. We
Right.
only allocate so many funds to the Orphan Road program, so that's kind of what we were working towards, perhaps a creative solution that might be able to phase the project and spread it across a couple of different fiscal years. So I'm happy to meet back out there with you again this
Great.
week, and then we can maybe explore that option in a little more depth than just the general discussions we had previously.
That'd be great.
Because originally when we started talking, and we all three went and looked at the
Yeah,
property.
you guys saw it.
And my first reaction was, well, if you just throw asphalt down, if you don't fix the drainage, that this is going to be a problem next
Right,
year.
and that was why I got the engineering report done,
Right.
to make sure that we weren't going to create a new issue. And when I got people coming out and looking at replacing it, they said what you said. They said, you can't pave this. This has to be ripped out and redone because it's in such bad shape.
Yeah.
And of course, the engineering report, which you guys probably, it was months and months and months ago, but basically, they looked at routing the water to the basin that was at the bottom and
Right.
showed that it wouldn't create a water issue somewhere else, which obviously we didn't want to fix one problem and create another one with it. But yeah, so that would
Yeah, and that was important because you had to make sure that you fixed it, and if you just paved it, you don't want to create a raceway for the water to run down into make sure all the driveways are, there'll be a way to prevent the water just running into people's driveways and flooding
Yep.
their houses, and again, causing another problem
Yeah,
downstream.
and that was when I talked to the people that came out to quit about the project. They were going to ditch it all the way down one side from top to bottom, and then to try to slope the road to where it would encourage the water to go to that, and then run down the hill in that ditch, and then that basin to catch it, so it wasn't going into anybody else's house or their property or their driveways and causing flooding issues that way. And then one of the quotes also put a concrete drain strip across the road to catch the water as it was starting down the hill and route it to that.
So you have a revised grant that you're submitting to us?
It's essentially the same proposal, but it's with
Just updated
What are
numbers.
the
quotes.
updated numbers, just generally?
I'm waiting to get one of them back.
Yeah.
The first one came back at 152,000,
That's for everything?
and that was for everything.
And just a general idea, how much money is pledged to you at this time, roughly?
Every homeowner, except for two, one of which I haven't been able to track down the property owner yet, and I've reached out to the management company. They won't give me a number. I don't think they're even pushing to get the person to reach out to me. So there's $1,000 a household, and then the last one at the very end of the street. I think I said this before. He's kind of cranky. I may be able to sway him if I can get him to see the value and how this is going to benefit him.
And then going forward, Derek, you had mentioned that the Property Owners Association in that area would be willing to take this street into their HOA for future maintenance. if it
Yeah,
was
it's
approved.
actually in the neighborhood association now. It's just because the road's in such bad shape, they're like, we can't really patch this, and we can't do snow removal because it would destroy the equipment. And I actually helped them whenever they were getting quotes for people to do the snow removal. I rode through the neighborhood with the guy to show him the area, and then he was driving me back to my house, and he goes, "We're not doing your road?" I was like, "When you get on my road, you understand why we didn't go down." And he's like, "Oh yeah," he goes, "This would destroy my plow. I couldn't take a plow down this." And so, I'm not currently paying dues, and they told me, they said, "There's nothing we can do about this road." And I said, if I get this road fixed and we all start paying, then you can, yes? And we can maintain it? They said, yeah.
That's part of our process as a plan going forward with this orphan road grant program, that there has to be a plan going forward so we don't have the same problem in 10 years.
I'm actually trying to see if we can find a way, because currently the neighborhood association is something voluntary. And there's a number of people that do it. I'm trying to see if we can figure out a way to make it a requirement, because there's not an HOA where you're having to control how people what they do at their house, but a neighborhood association that's mandatory for purposes of maintaining for the road, taking care of snow removal. So that's maybe it's pie in the sky hope, but that's the goal that I would like. I'm actually going to be meeting and talking with some of the members of the board of the neighborhood association to see if that's something that we can get some assistance with trying to make that happen.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
No. Well, I appreciate if you would provide your revised stuff, and we will certainly take a look at it. And again, like I told you last time, I know we've slipped, but we need to give you some sort of feedback.
Yeah, I'll have it to you guys before the end of the week.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks
sir.
for coming forward. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Thanks, Stuart. No, I was
I
just
can't see the.
thanking Stuart.
Okay.
Charles
Okay.
for coming too.
We'll close public portion. Comments from the public. Sheriff Perry Palmer to present the tax sale suspension list for the 2022 tax year.
Morning.
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 I'm going to present you with a list of properties to be suspended from certification to the auditor for the 2022 tax year. And some of the reasons for the suspensions: bankruptcy, previously sold, no deed issued, interest minerals only, questionable deed. The total number of suspended was 1,060. Kelly's giving you that now. If you have any questions on that, she'd be more than glad to answer them.
Can I just ask, what does ONG mean? Interest, INONG?
Interest in oil and gas.
Oh, oil and gas. Okay, thank you. Wow.
And then I'm also asking the commission to approval to unsuspend a group of 7 properties so we can include them with the tax year 2022 certification to the auditor. And the reasons for that: deed issue delayed, no pending litigation, and a total to be UN suspended, 7.
Okay. Let's
Unsuspended, yeah, we're not sure.
Let's do the first part.
Let's take the first action. So you presented the tax sale suspension list for 2022, fiscal year 2022. I move that we accept that list as presented.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now,
The tickets to be unsuspended.
okay, here they are. Yes.
I move that we approve that request of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 properties as listed.
Second. I thought you were.
Oh, I thought you were going to, okay.
Yeah.
So we have the 7 list here. Okay, so to be unsuspended, these 7, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Made that easy for us. Do we have any grants, Mr. Colin Kuhn?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the grant application for the Records Management and Preservation Board grant. It's for the county clerk's office. They're requesting $18,880.90. So there's the certification form I need you to sign, and then there's a resolution of support, which reads, whereas the County Commission of Monongalia County believes in the promotion of the principles of efficient records management and preservation, And whereas the Records Management and Preservation Board awards grants to county commissions to assist office holders in the management and preservation of county records. And whereas the County of Monongalia is submitting one application for funding through the West Virginia Division of Culture and History. And whereas the Records Management and Preservation Board's grant program requires that the County Commission enter into a contractual agreement with the West Virginia Division of Culture and History to receive and administer grant funds. Now therefore be it resolved that the Monongalia County Commission hereby fully supports the project submitted by the Monongalia County Clerk and will comply with all grant reporting deadlines, budget, purchasing, and reporting requirements as indicated in the grant agreement.
Documents as presented?
Second.
Proper moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Correspondence, notice of application to modify bonding capacity for the University Town Center Economic Opportunity Development District.
This is the letter that was referred to last week. When you all approved the bond order. This is signed by Mitch Carmichael, Cabinet Secretary.
That's what we were expecting, and that's the condition that was required for us to have entered into the bond orders and all that other stuff that we approved on last Wednesday.
So they increased the bonding capacity in the amount of $60 million, which brings it up to $260 million.
Okay. Okay, and the second one is a letter from Hugh McGee regarding the condition of Tibbs Road.
Mr. McGee has written to you all before.
Yes.
He is a resident of Pierpont Fields Village and is just asking you to intercede.
Okay. Any other correspondence?
Yeah, the last piece is the letter to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission regarding Lakeland Hydroelectric Project, relicensing project comments to scoping documents.
And as you recall, we have especially with grants, we have a policy where if there's no objection to writing the letter of support, that can be done and signed by the president to meet certain deadlines. So that's occurred, and
Yep.
Mr. Nichols, that's the letter that we are sending to FERC on your behalf, which you provided some input for that letter. So.
Okay. Okay, anything else? Do we need to make
You're
a,
gonna-
do
I
we need to
mean,
move that
it's-
letter?
The president needs to sign it, so I need a
Yeah,
motion.
have a
to
motion
approve the
that,
letter.
Okay,
to
so
allow me
that-
to sign that letter.
Move the president sign the letter as presented.
Second.
Proper moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any other correspondence?
No, that's all.
We have received,
Okay.
within the last hour or so, 11 emails regarding the proposed safety ordinance that's coming up to vote here in a little bit. So they're
We
all,
have?
I don't know if we mentioned it at that time or technically it's correspondence, so I mention it now. All 11 are consensus in opposition of the proposed ordinance for reasons that have been relayed during the public hearings.
Did you get them?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like they
Well,
just sent them though while we were in a meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they started at 8:30 this morning and then have trickled in through 10:11, so
Okay.
just
Okay.
food for thought.
Okay. Any other correspondence?
No.
Okay, seeing none, we'll move through unfinished business to new business. To consider for approval requisition number 20 for Series 2021B Harmony Grove Phase 1 Project Fund.
Requisition is for a total of $104,834. $37,950 is to be paid to En Route Properties for road, ditch, and stone. $30,000 to Adrian Enterprises for project management, and $36,883.46 to Preston Contractors.
Move that we approve requisition 20 to Series 2021B Harmony Grove Phase 1 Project Fund as presented.
Second.
Proper moves in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
B, to consider for approval appointments to the Mason-Dixon Historical Park Advisory Board.
Had several positions expire at the end of July, maybe. Victor Hellier, Kathy Patterson, and Seth Lemley. They have all submitted requests to be reappointed. I have not received any other applications.
Okay. Move to approve the reappointments of Kathy Atherson, Seth Lemley, and Victor Hellier to the Mason-Dixon Historical Advisory Board.
And these are 3-year appointments.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consideration of appointment to the Mon County Development Authority.
The town of Star City has submitted Sharon Doyle, mayor, to be their seat on the Development Authority, so you just need to confirm that, and then we'll send the appropriate notices out.
Move to approve Mayor Sharon Doyle as the Star City representative to the Monongalia County Development Authority.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consideration to approve a request for funding from the Brookhaven Community Association.
They are in the process of updating some restrooms, and in the process, they realized that they don't really have enough existing room. They were going to have to do an addition. And Commissioner Arnett went out and visited with them to look at their space issues. Commissioner Arnett, do you want to speak to your meeting?
Yeah, basically it's to, just like you said, to make restrooms ADA compliant or with what they have now. It's just not practical to use the existing space that they have, a very narrow hallway, to access the one bathroom and the other bathroom. You might be able to expand the doorway, but you couldn't circumvent, or you couldn't turn a wheelchair around once you were inside it. It'd be very difficult. So I can see the value and the merit in the project as far as they just want to add a little bump off to the front of the building that would add some storage in addition to the bathrooms. Now it's a large project, and they're planning on fundraising. I mean, I think it's up to $65,000. They're planning on doing a lion's share of the fundraising for that, but they've asked for some assistance with regard to that project.
I move that we approve funding in a not-to-exceed amount of $10,000 over the period of the next fiscal year 23 and 24 for the
24 and 25.
I'm sorry, 24 and 25 for the project to add an addition to their building to make their restaurants ADA compliant.
You know, it's second.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion?
This would come from the community centers fund that we have.
Right.
And you did say that was matching, right?
Yes.
Based
Yes.
on-
Yes.
okay.
Should be matching.
Well, I didn't say it was matching, but our
Up to, yeah.
it's to pay for incurred cost, and we'll match that up to $10,000.
Okay, it's been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
To consider for approval the assessor's certificate of compliance received from Kent Leonhardt, Commissioner, West Virginia Department of Agriculture.
Well, that's pretty much it.
Move to approve the assessor's certificate of compliance as presented.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
To consider for approval the adoption of the proposed ordinance regulating pedestrian and vehicle safety. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve adoption of the ordinance regulating pedestrian and vehicle safety.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I'd like
Sure,
to
go
discuss
right
this a
ahead.
little bit.
Yeah.
As Commissioner Arnett had mentioned, we have received some
Yeah.
emails today. I would like to at least go through and note those. Trying to see when the first one was.
It's like 8:31.
Oh, there's one at 8:31? Okay, I didn't see that.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm
No,
sorry.
no. The first one was at
9:30.
9:32.
9:32.
From Gabriel Jones. Commissioners, as someone that has their office in Morgantown, I can't believe the way we have decided to treat our neighbors in such a cruel way. Homelessness is a crisis point in our country because of many factors. My hope is we would lead by example and treat each human with respect and dignity. Please vote no on this ordinance. Instead, spend your time contributing to solutions on ending homelessness. The next one was from Leslie Nash. Commissioners Bloom, Socorro, Bloom, and Arnett. My name is Leslie Nash, and I'm a resident of Morgantown, Mon County. I'm ready to oppose the proposed public safety ordinance as for the Commission for approval this morning and urge you to vote against passing this panhandling ban. And it basically is against it. I'm not going
Right.
to read each of those. Thomas Pritt, protect free speech. If you're desperate enough to ask for donations on the street, what other options do you have? Anna Hicks, dear Commissioners, I was writing to express my strong opposition to the proposed ordinance regulating pedestrian and vehicle safety that is currently under consideration. I believe such a ban is not only unnecessary but also unjust and detrimental to the well-being of our community. And it goes on to basically reiterate the same points. Kathy Lewis, opposition to panhandling ban. I'm writing as a resident of Monongalia County. I oppose the panhandling ban you are considering. I oppose restrictions on free speech. I also believe that criminalizing homelessness does not solve the issue of homelessness. I hope that you consider the significant negative consequences of panhandling ban and vote against it. Marley, how do you say that last name, Tom?
Unigas.
Vote no on the Monongalia
Unigas.
County and a free speech bill ordinance regarding pedestrian vehicle safety. Safety ordinance. Julie Dizel, hi there. Is my position in panhandling safety ordinance being brought up today would be a harmful decision causing unintended consequences likely to be felt by individuals who is not meant to target. While encouraging people to not be in a roadway is a good goal to have, doing so in a carceral way means is not productive for anyone in the county. Our county should be instead addressing the root causes of how to stop people from having to ask for money in the first place. Alice Foley, Commissioners, my name is Alice. I reside in the Woodburn area neighborhood. And I write to you this morning to express my strong opposition to the Commission's proposed panhandling ban. First, the ban, even in its current rebranded form, is unconstitutional. Will absolutely draw a legal challenge. I prefer my tax dollars be spent on initiatives that actually address homelessness, poverty, and safety, not lawsuits defending clear First Amendment violations. And then Brian Hicks was the last one. Continue opposition to pedestrian safety. I'm repeating my opposition to pedestrian safety ordinance. I have copied and pasted my initial letter below for reference.
There was one more, I'm not sure if it came through on yours, from Lindsay Jacobs at 9:30. I think that's the only one that wasn't read.
Okay.
My name's Lindsay. I'm a Monongalia County resident. I write to you this morning to express my opposition to the Commission's proposed panhandling ban. And it basically reiterates the same themes that the others that you read express.
So we have this ordinance in front of us, and I thank Commissioner Bloom for taking the lead on this and spending a lot of time making sure that it was something that met our objectives, which is pedestrian vehicle safety. It replaces an ordinance regulating soliciting panhandling that was adopted by this commission on the 14th day of July. I'm sorry, that was the first reading. On the 4th day of August, 2010. So this ordinance has been in place that was specifically spoke to soliciting and panhandling.
Yes.
This ordinance replaces it, and it's a pedestrian and safety vehicle ordinance. It's not an attack on homelessness. It's an ordinance to promote safety in those areas and the issues caused by people that are in the median and people stopping to interact with people in the median. This only affects Monongalia County. It doesn't affect the municipalities. Municipalities can have their own ordinance or pass versions of this one. I think we've done everything possible to be clear about our intentions with this, and I do understand that people may disagree, but it is a simple measure to ensure the safety of our pedestrians and our people traveling in those areas, vehicles. There's a lot of talk that's done or that's made about homelessness and people that need help. You couldn't live in a more progressive county in regards to all we do to help people that need a hand up. And it's important, we're talking about a hand up, not a hand out. And we have all those opportunities available in this community. This was presented at one of the public meetings. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.5 pages of all the different organizations in this community that will help people that want to ask for help. And the commission contributes on an average about $1.4 million a year to help nonprofits and social organizations. So we are attacking the problem at its root cause. This ordinance is to address safety.
There was a lot of discussion in the opposition of this ordinance that how this ordinance was born or what it would derive from. The words panhandling were thrown around, and regardless of the perception or even if it's the reality of how the ordinance was born, it's completely morphed into something that doesn't attack panhandling. It doesn't outlaw panhandling. It doesn't criminalize homelessness, doesn't even mention homelessness. In fact, most of our research has shown that the majority of the people that are standing in the median are in fact not homeless. So I understand there's a generic correlation that's assumed, but it's not actually the reality in this case. As I said, there's nothing in here that criminalizes homelessness or outlaws panhandling. It's just when you've got a situation where there's 4 or 5 lanes of traffic and you've got an individual sitting in the middle of the road, it creates a safety hazard, not just for the individual in the road, but for the drivers. And so that is where what the ordinance that's before us is being considered. And I don't want to, a lot of the opposition has generalized it into something that it's actually not. So what we're deciding is, as Commissioner Secor said, is the ordinance that's before us, and in writing it mentions none of those things, and it is intended for safety, and I believe that's what it will help promote. So that's my comment.
And just to summarize, this ordinance came out of a meeting from every city, county official, and WVU that attended the meeting, and a police department. And we came to compromise because when we looked through the meeting and all the ordinances, we were very careful to say, what is it that can be addressed? And what can be addressed is the safety and vehicle pedestrian area and the flow of traffic. And that's what we have designed. So with that, if there are any other comments? See, I call the question, how many? Oh, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against? It passes. Okay. Is there any other new business items that it's not on the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay, moving to reports from elected officials and department supervisors. Come on down.
Something that we forgot to mention earlier is that the last day to pay for the delinquent 22 taxes is Tuesday, October the 31st.
Great.
And we ask that people are here by 4 p.m. just so that we have time to process payments and all of that. So again, the delinquent 22 taxes are due by October the 31st, paid by 5 p.m. And then those will be certified to the auditor. Whereas we no longer have a sale, they'll be certified to the auditor and then have to be redeemed from the auditor's office.
Payments remitted by that date are still allowable by personal check, is that correct? Or at
No,
this
that is
point,
not correct. At this point,
certified?
we are certified
Okay.
funds only, thank you.
Okay.
Credit card, cash, or cashier's check.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, we will go to reports from county commissioners. Jeff?
Just a couple of things. The three of us had the privilege of speaking to the Cheat Lake Rotary Club yesterday. A lot of strong community leaders in that group, and it was an honor to update them on the various projects that we have going on. And last week we had an MMPO meeting, and it was pretty informative as far as discussing the projects coming about with the bridge and some of the road projects that we're trying to help coordinate through that organization. So other than that, I think I've spoken enough today. So, Sean?
Since the last meeting, last Wednesday, in the evening, we had our MAP board meeting, Morgantown Area Partnership. On Thursday, I had a MAP Executive Board meeting, a call with our developer and our finance team, and a MMMPO meeting. I'm sorry, I said Thursday. It was a MAP Executive Board meeting. That was a Mylan Park Foundation Executive Board meeting. Friday was staff reports, work session, and then my thing isn't seeming to update. Sorry about that. I've got an old spreadsheet. This week, we had a call. The administrator, if I had a call with MUB and the Westridge developer regarding that project. And then I had a follow-on call with the Westridge developer regarding another project. Tuesday, as Commissioner Arnett mentioned, we did have the pleasure of meeting with the Cheat Lake Rotary. And then after that, I met with W Medicine CEO Albert Wright for just a tag up. In the afternoon, the administrator and I had our bi-weekly proactive HR call. Today's a regular day, though I will be attending a meeting that the Morgantown Area Partnership is hosting next door regarding DOH strategy. Today's the rest of the week. Friday, I have staff reports, a broadband tag up, and then the Mohawk Bowl. So I'm looking forward to participating in that. I do want to mention that next week is Tuesday is Halloween. We have a bunch of events going on all over the place. I was just pulling out of Collins Ferry yesterday, and they were doing a trunk or treat in the backside of the parking lot by the Preet building, and there were kids going up and down the sidewalk. So we need to be very careful. They have costumes on. They're not always paying attention. They're excited. There's a lot of kids going to be out on the road in our community with all the different Halloween times and places, and everybody please be careful. Mr. Nichols, thank you for coming. As always, every time you present to us, it's very informative. I hope that the letter we wrote on behalf of your organization is helpful, and looking forward to regular updates with you on that process. And then the citizens that showed up from Alpine Road, this commission has a lot on its plate, a lot more than any other counties. But we did a couple years ago make a special effort to put the Orphan Road program in place to help situations like yours. Yours is kind of on the cusp of, how much we can help, and that's what we're trying to figure out. But we will certainly take your situation into account and give you some sort of finality, or at least, work with you for some sort of plan to get this moved forward. It's really something that's we kind of, Orphan Roads was said to be the third rail of county politics. It's something you don't really want to touch, and we did touch it, and we did put it in place, and I think it's been working well. We've had a number of projects that we're proud of supporting that wouldn't otherwise been done for that fund. So do appreciate you coming in and voicing your concern. I know that it's frustrating, but we are, we're going to try to help as best we can. So thank you.
Okay, basically, there was a meeting last Thursday at the MAP office that I represent the county commission. We also have representatives from all the different cities to meet with WVU officials to discuss what the state of WVU and our questions and concerns. And I think two things that came out of it was we are going to meet probably every 3 or 4 weeks now to discuss issues and concerns that we were worried about. And also, I think the other thing was that a consensus came out that it's time that WVU is here, we are here, we need to work together to promote both areas. And I think that I was real pleased that came out, and there were some really good points. And I want to thank Steve Blinko for organizing, setting that all up, and I appreciate it. Also, again, I received several thank yous from Cheat Lake Rotary members who were really impressed not only on our presentation, but had no idea what we were involved with and what was going on and how much is happening in our county. And they were very proud that, very honored that we are representing them. So it was very positive, and I'll end with that. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We be gone.